Hi there, and welcome back to Boring Science Stories, your soft place under the stars, where science hums like a lullaby and the universe unfolds with closed eyes. Tonight, we're drifting through silence, searching not for monsters or spaceships, but for something quieter, something older, and perhaps something alive. Because out there, hidden beneath frozen moons and crusts of ancient ice, there are oceans, real oceans, dark, deep, and untouched for billions of years. Europa, Enceladus, even Ganymede. They whisper with salt water, and maybe, just maybe, they carry a heartbeat. Not like ours, not loud or warm, but alive, in a language we haven't yet learned to listen to. So as you sink into stillness, as the blankets weigh gently on your chest, let's float beyond Earth and into those quiet oceans of the stars. And before we begin, where are you watching from tonight? Is it midnight where you are, or early morning? Let me know in the comments. I read them all and they become part of these stories too. Soft little lights I carry into the next night. Now close your eyes, breathe gently, and let's follow the water to the edge of what we know and just a little beyond. Not all deserts are dry, and not all water is wet. Some of it sleeps beneath ice, waiting to be found. Tonight, as you settle deeper into stillness, let's travel far beyond our blue planet, to places where silence echoes louder than sound, and where water, yes, water, lies hidden, sleeping. You see, not all water flows in rivers. Not all oceans glisten beneath the sun. Out in space, in the shadows of forgotten moons and lonely planets, water whispers from beneath thick shells of ice, waiting, preserved, ancient. And that's where our journey begins. Let's start with a name whispered often in cosmic science, Europa. A moon of Jupiter, covered in cracked ice like the surface of a shattered mirror. Beneath it, an ocean, deeper than all of Earth's seas combined. Imagine that for a moment. An entire world of water, hidden under a crust of frozen silence. No waves, no tides, just pressure, darkness, and maybe, just maybe, life. Scientists believe Europa's ice shifts slowly, cracking, creaking, groaning like an ancient glacier. Beneath the ice, warm currents swirl, kept alive by the pull and stretch of Jupiter's gravity. This tidal energy could be enough to keep water in motion, and motion is life's favorite rhythm. Then there's Enceladus, one of Saturn's moons, smaller than some countries but vast in mystery. Here, the frozen shell is thinner, and it breathes. Yes, breathes. From cracks near Enceladus's south pole, great plumes of water vapor erupt into space, like geysers on Earth, but in the black quiet of the cosmos. NASA's Cassini spacecraft flew right through those plumes. It tasted them. And inside, simple organic molecules, salt, hydrogen, the ingredients for something ancient and alive. Can you imagine? A moon, barely 500 kilometers wide, whispering secrets from an ocean below, one that no human eye has ever seen. And it doesn't stop there. Ganymede, the largest moon in our solar system, bigger even than Mercury, also hides a deep ocean. In fact, Ganymede may have layered oceans, sandwiched between sheets of ice, like a cosmic lasagna of liquid and frost. The magnetic field around Ganymede shivers strangely. Something beneath is moving, conducting, as if an electric sea pulses slowly beneath its crust. That's the thing about space. What looks frozen might be flowing. What feels lifeless might just be sleeping. And what of Mars? We now glide past Titan, Saturn's mysterious moon. Its rivers do not flow with water, but methane and ethane. Its lakes shimmer in golden haze beneath a thick, hazy sky. But Titan is cold, very cold. And deep beneath its crust, beneath all that alien chemistry, scientists believe a real ocean hides. A water ocean. Not on the surface, but within. Buried under pressure, sealed in silence. Just like Europa. Just like Enceladus. Titan is a place where dreams of the familiar and the strange hold hands. Then skips and only. Even smaller bodies, like Ceres, the largest object in the asteroid belt, show signs of icy mantles and possibly subsurface brines. Ceres once cried out to our telescopes with mysterious bright spots. Salt. Water ice. Left behind by something melting or evaporating. Comets, too, carry ancient water, older than Earth's, frozen relics from the dawn of time, drifting quietly until they draw near the sun and begin to weep soft vapor tales. These gentle messengers are time capsules, holding the stories of how water first came to Earth, of how it might spread again, which is people us. And all of it, every moon, every comet, every frozen shadow, connects to a single question. Where there is water, could there be life? We don't know yet. But what we do know is this. Water is everywhere. Even in the loneliest places. It sleeps beneath ice. It glides in vapor trails. It whispers from cracks in forgotten moons. And perhaps in the darkest ocean beneath Europa, or the salty mist of Enceladus, something stirs. Deeping seas in Saturns do the Larry Enceladus. So, as you drift deeper into rest, let this truth float with you. The universe may seem cold, but beneath its surface, warmth stirs. Oceans sleep, and every drop, even the quietest, tells a story. Tomorrow we'll float further. Not a lake, not a puddle, but a vast global ocean of liquid water, stretching miles deep, encased in total darkness. Europa's ocean may hold twice as much water as all of Earth's seas combined. Imagine that. An ocean with no surface, no sunlight, no waves lapping against a shore, just stillness, pressure, and warmth from within. But how can this ocean stay liquid? After all, Europa is far from the sun. Too far, we'd think, for warmth to reach it. The answer is gravity. And the secret lies in a beautiful phenomenon called tidal heating. You see, Europa is not alone. It dances with Jupiter, a massive planet so large it could swallow over 1,000 Earths. As Europa orbits this giant, Jupiter's gravity pulls on it relentlessly. Not evenly, not gently, but with rhythm. Jupiter stretches Europa, then lets go, then pulls again and again in a cycle that never stops. This repeated flexing causes friction inside Europa's rocky core, like kneading dough with invisible hands, and that friction creates heat. It's this internal warmth, not the distant sun, that keeps Europa's ocean from freezing solid. Imagine your heart beating, and every beat warms your body from within. Europa has no heart, but Jupiter becomes one, a gravitational pulse that keeps its ocean alive. In 2012, the Hubble Space Telescope spotted something wondrous, a faint plume of water vapor erupting briefly from Europa's south pole. It didn't roar, it whispered. This suggested that cracks in the ice might open sometimes, allowing the hidden ocean to exhale into space, a cosmic sigh from a world sealed tight. These geysers may not be as dramatic as Enceladus's, but their presence changes everything, because it means we might one day sample Europa's ocean without digging through miles of ice. And if we could taste that ocean, what would we find? Salts. Yes. Salts have been detected on Europa's surface, not table salt, but possibly magnesium sulfate, similar to Epsom salts. This hints that Europa's ocean could be saltier than Earth's seas, that it may contain chemical energy, the kind that some simple life forms like microbes love to feed on. And here, the story begins to soften, to slow, and to wonder. Because on Earth, life doesn't only bloom in sunlight. It thrives deep in our oceans, in places where light never reaches, in thermal vents, in darkness, feeding on minerals and heat. Could Europa be the same? Could something live there?
For salty patches, for warmth, for cracks, where secrets might rise. And one day, a future mission may land, drill, and touch water that hasn't seen sunlight in billions of years. But even if life is never found, Europa changes the way we see everything. It reminds us that oceans do not always shimmer, that warmth does not always shine, and that silence is not the same as emptiness. Europa is not just a moon. It is a possibility, a soft place in a hard universe, a dream sealed in frost. As we drift away from Europa's pale light, let its story follow you like a lullaby, that beneath even the coldest surfaces, something warm might stir, that life may wait in places we least expect, and that some oceans don't need sunlight to matter. Next, we'll follow the icy breath of Enceladus, a smaller moon, but one that sings louder. Its plumes reach into space like fingers from the deep, and its ocean, too, may hold whispers of life. But for now, let the stillness of Europa cradle your thoughts. Let Jupiter's invisible heartbeat rock you to rest, and dream of oceans that wait in the dark. In the dark beyond Saturn, a tiny moon whispers through vapor, sending soft jets of water into space like sighs in the cold. You're floating now. Your breath is slower. The stars feel softer. And in the dark arms of Saturn's gravity, a tiny pale world appears, glowing gently like a pearl in shadow. Its name is Enceladus, a moon small enough to fit within the borders of Pakistan, yet vast enough to hold an ocean, and a secret it cannot keep. Because Enceladus whispers, not in sound, but in sighs of vapor that rise silently into the vacuum of space. As we approach, Enceladus doesn't look loud. It's smooth, like freshly fallen snow. But look closer. Near its south pole, you'll find long, thin fractures, cracks that stretch like claw marks across the ice. These are the tiger stripes, deep grooves where the surface splits open, revealing something stirring below. And from those stripes comes breath. Soft, icy geysers erupt, not in fury but in rhythm. They rise in graceful arcs, shimmering in Saturn's sunlight, each one a message from the world beneath.
For salty patches, for warmth, for cracks where secrets might rise.
And one day, a future mission may land, drill, and touch water that hasn't seen sunlight in billions of years. But even if life is never found, Europa changes the way we see everything. It reminds us that oceans do not always shimmer, that warmth does not always shine, and that silence is not the same as emptiness. Europa is not just a moon. It is a possibility, a soft place in a hard universe, a dream sealed in frost. As we drift away from Europa's pale light, let its story follow you like a lullaby, that beneath even the coldest surfaces, something warm might stir, that life may wait in places we least expect, and that some oceans don't need sunlight to matter. Next, we'll follow the icy breath of Enceladus, a smaller moon, but one that sings louder. Its plumes reach into space like fingers from the deep, and its ocean, too, may hold whispers of life. But for now, let the stillness of Europa cradle your thoughts. Let Jupiter's invisible heartbeat rock you to rest, and dream of oceans that wait in the dark. In the dark beyond Saturn, a tiny moon whispers through vapor, sending soft jets of water into space like sighs in the cold. You're floating now. Your breath is slower. The stars feel softer. And in the dark arms of Saturn's gravity, a tiny pale world appears, glowing gently like a pearl in shadow. Its name is Enceladus, a moon small enough to fit within the borders of Pakistan, yet vast enough to hold an ocean, and a secret it cannot keep. Because Enceladus whispers, not in sound, but in sighs of vapor that rise silently into the vacuum of space. As we approach, Enceladus doesn't look loud. It's smooth, like freshly fallen snow. But look closer. Near its south pole, you'll find long, thin fractures, cracks that stretch like claw marks across the ice. These are the tiger stripes, deep grooves where the surface splits open, revealing something stirring below. And from those stripes comes breath. Soft, icy geysers. That friction keeps the water beneath from freezing. It pushes and pulls the moon's interior like a slow-motion heartbeat. The ice shell flexes, opens slightly, and the ocean exhales. Every eruption is a moon-sized sigh, a breathing rhythm in space. Let's slow down even more. Imagine standing on Enceladus's surface. In a heavy suit maybe, but surrounded by silence. Above you, Saturn hangs huge in the sky, a golden-ringed guardian, always present, always watchful. And just a few kilometers away, a geyser erupts. Not violently, not quickly, but steadily. A plume of mist arcs into space, glittering crystals of water, carrying hints of salt and organics. You can hear nothing, but you can feel it. This is what it might mean for a moon to breathe. And what about life? If Enceladus's ocean touches rock, then just like the hydrothermal vents on Earth's ocean floor, chemical reactions could occur. Heat, water, rock equals energy. Energy plus time equals possibility. On Earth, entire ecosystems live around such vents, in total darkness, feeding on minerals and chemical warmth. Could Enceladus hide something similar? Tiny organisms drifting in the deep, feeding on hydrogen and salt, breathing their own rhythm? We do not know yet. But the fact that this question is no longer science fiction is already a miracle. Scientists call Enceladus a priority target because its plumes are accessible. We don't need to dig, we don't need to land and drill for miles. We only need to fly through the breath of the moon and listen. Future missions are being planned, ones that can sample those icy sighs more deeply, search for amino acids, or even biosignatures. Because if life is anywhere in the solar system beyond Earth, Enceladus might just be the most poetic place to find it. Not because it shouts, but because it whispers. As we drift past the geysers now, trailing their shimmering mist, we see how connected this journey truly is. Europa, quiet beneath the ice. Enceladus, breathing through its cracks. Both moons share the same message, that life does not need sunshine, it only needs warmth, water, and patience, and that sometimes the coldest worlds carry the warmest hope. Tonight, as your eyes grow heavier, let Enceladus be your lullaby, its icy plumes drifting slowly upward, like breath on a cold morning, its ocean still,
floating deeper into a dream that stretches across space and silence. We've listened to Europa's stillness. We've drifted through Enceladus's icy breath, but the story of water in the cosmos isn't over. There are more voices, soft ones, ancient ones, whispering from deeper shadows. Come with me now, to moons so strange, so quietly alive, that they feel like forgotten thoughts the universe once dreamed and never let go. Our path bends toward Ganymede, the largest moon in the solar system. It orbits Jupiter, a world so big it carries its own magnetic field, a field that flickers strangely, as if being stirred from the inside. Ganymede is a frozen world. Its surface is marked by icy ridges and older, darker patches, places shaped by time, by collisions, by frost and stillness. But what lies beneath is not still. Scientists believe Ganymede holds an underground ocean, possibly hundreds of kilometers deep. But unlike Europa, Ganymede's ocean may be layered, tucked between sheets of high-pressure ice like a cosmic sandwich of liquid and frozen water. It's strange, it's cold, but it's real, and it's vast. Imagine an ocean, not on the outside of a world, but within it, locked away beneath silence, pressurized and dark, but warmed by friction and stirred by motion. That ocean could carry salt, like Europa. It could carry organic particles, stirred from the rocky core below. And maybe, just maybe, it could carry something else, something alive. Ganymede's magnetic field adds mystery. It's unique among moons, and it tells us this ocean, this invisible sea, might conduct electricity. Why does that matter? Because it means the ocean is moving, reacting, whispering back to the magnetism around it. Water is not just sitting in stillness, it's pulsing with the moon's rhythm. And in that pulse, life could stir. Simple, small, unseen, but real. Now let us drift away again, through Jupiter's gravity well, beyond its grasp, toward Saturn. And around that ring giant, we find a moon like no other. Its name is Titan. You may have heard of it. A moon wrapped in orange haze, thick with clouds that hide its surface from view. Titan is eerie, beautiful, alien, and it may be the strangest mirror of Earth we've ever found. Here's why. Titan is the only other place in the solar system where we've found liquid on the surface. But it's not water. It's methane and ethane, hydrocarbon lakes and rivers, flowing beneath a dim orange sky, cold enough to freeze you in seconds, but alive with motion. Raindrops of methane fall softly, rivers carve landscapes, lakes shimmer under distant starlight, and yet, this isn't the full story. Because beneath Titan's crust, there may also be a real water ocean, hidden, deep, and mysterious. Scientists think Titan's icy shell,
The building blocks of life, drift through Titan's haze like pollen on the wind. It's one of the few places where prebiotic chemistry, the early steps of life's recipe, seems to happen without Earth-like conditions. So, what does all this mean? It means life might not need sunshine. It might not need warmth from a star or perfect climates. It might just need time. Warmth from below and liquid. Any liquid, whether water or something stranger. Ganymede offers water, depth, and magnetism. Titan offers organic chemistry, surface, lakes, and secret oceans. They don't look like Earth, they don't behave like Earth, but in their silence, in their chemistry, they whisper the same question. Could we be alone? Or is life hiding? Not in lush jungles, but in cold oceans beneath ice. In orange skies thick with mystery. In the slow turning of moons wrapped in stillness. And the beautiful part? We are getting closer to answers. NASA plans to send the Dragonfly mission to Titan in the 2030s. It won't just orbit, it will land and then fly, a rotorcraft exploring multiple locations in Titan's alien world. It will study surface chemistry, atmospheric composition, and look for complex organics in places that feel like ancient Earth. Meanwhile, Ganymede awaits. Its ocean remains undisturbed. But spacecraft like the JUICE mission, Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer, are on their way. They'll scan Ganymede's depths, test its magnetism, and listen, because sometimes you find the most precious truths in the places no one thought to look. As your body sinks deeper into rest, and your thoughts ripple gently like waves in darkness, let Ganymede and Titan hold your imagination tonight. Let them remind you that life, like dreams, may not always bloom in light. It may grow slowly, in oceans hidden beneath ice, or in the haze of a moon that never sees the sun. And even if no life is ever found, their story matters, because they show us that the universe is more than stars. It is possibility. It is patience. It is wonder in silence. Next, we'll visit a world much closer. A red planet that once had oceans on its skin. Now, it only holds on to water like a memory. But memories, as we know, can still hold life. So sleep now,
Let Titan's orange haze blanket your thoughts. Let Ganymede's magnetic whispers rock you gently. And know that in the quiet hearts of distant moons, the universe is still dreaming.
If something lives in those oceans, it won't have eyes for sunlight. It will know only darkness, pressure, and the taste of minerals. Tonight, we drift even deeper. Not through space, but inward, into the imagination. We've traveled past icy moons, through plumes of vapor and underground oceans. We've seen that water is not rare. It hides, it waits, it listens. But what if, in that silence, something stirs? Not cities, not civilizations, not glowing green aliens with long fingers and round eyes, but something smaller, something simpler, something real. Imagine a place beneath Europa's crust, where no light has ever touched, where the pressure could crush a submarine, and yet where warmth leaks up from the rocky core, where chemicals drift and swirl in the water like slow ink in a black sea. This is not a place for sunflowers. It is a place for survivors. And on Earth, we've seen them before. In the darkest parts of our oceans, where no sunlight reaches, life thrives. At the edges of hydrothermal vents, where hot water bursts out of the Earth's crust into the deep sea, you'll find strange creatures, worms with no mouths, clams with no eyes, microbes that feed on sulfur, not sugar. These life forms don't photosynthesize, they chemosynthesize. They turn chemicals like hydrogen sulfide or methane into energy. No sunlight, no leaves, no chlorophyll, just chemistry and patience. This process is called chemosynthesis, and it may be the key to understanding alien life. So now, imagine something like that on Europa, or Enceladus, or even deep under Ganymede. Tiny microbes floating near the moon's rocky core, where heat from tidal friction keeps the water warm, where minerals dissolve from the stone into the sea, and where life could feed quietly, clinging to vents, drifting with currents, dividing slowly in total darkness. These wouldn't be creatures that see. They wouldn't know light at all. They would sense pressure. They would feel chemistry. They would respond to gradients, flows of heat or energy, and they would survive. What would they look like? No one knows. But maybe they wouldn't look like much. A cell, a cluster, a film drifting over rock. Alien life, if it exists, might not be spectacular to the eye, but it would be extraordinary to the heart, and touched the edges of dreams that do not need light to shine. And now, we slow down. We breathe. We listen. Because this final chapter isn't about what we find, but why we search. But then we'll back, out there. Beyond Mars, beyond the rings of Saturn, beyond even Pluto's icy orbit, float the quietest voices of humanity. Two golden messengers, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Launched in the 1970s, these twin spacecraft now sail through interstellar space, the space between the stars. They are powered by fading warmth, their instruments barely awake. But they still move, still call home. And on board each Voyager is a message, a golden record, a lullaby from Earth. It carries sounds of whales and laughter, greetings in 55 languages, the cry of a baby, music from Bach to Blind Willie Johnson. And it carries a question.
Are we alone? But then, we built Voyager not just for data, but for connection. We sent it knowing it may never be found, knowing no one might ever hear it. But we sent it anyway, because to send something into the dark is the most human thing we do. But then the same is true of Galileo, which orbited Jupiter, studying Europa and its cracks of ice, of Cassini, which danced through Saturn's rings and flew through Enceladus's geysers, tasting water that hadn't seen sunlight in 1 billion years. And now, there's James Webb, a telescope parked far from Earth, unfolding its mirrors like petals, peering into the very birthplaces of stars and galaxies. Each of these missions is a whisper, a hope, a way of saying, we are listening. But then, why do we care? Why search so far, spend so long, for something we may never find? Because deep down, we're not just made of atoms, we are built from questions. And one of the oldest ones is this: are we the only ones who feel? Not just who live, but who wonder. Are we the only ones who look up at the stars and ache? But then, some say we search to find life, but maybe we really search to find company, to feel less alone in the great black silence, to know that life, this strange, flickering thing we call consciousness, isn't just a local story, that it is perhaps a universal melody, played in different keys, across many worlds. But then, and even if we never hear back, even if Europa's ocean holds no microbes, and Enceladus never whispers a living cell, the search itself becomes sacred. Because it reminds us that we are not just floating rocks, not just passengers on a pale blue dot. We are seekers.
We've built more than machines. We've built bridges to the unknown.
Montan, the science of searching for life, is not quick. It moves at the pace of orbits and seasons. It requires patience, discipline, and wonder. It means asking questions whose answers may not come in our lifetimes, but science has never been about speed. It's about continuity. It's about building a ladder, one rung at a time, toward understanding. Montan, Amangtan, implans not give to it. And here's a secret. Even if alien life is never found, this search has already changed us. It's made us better stewards of Earth. It's humbled our assumptions. It's reminded us that oceans can hide beneath frost, that chemistry can bloom in the cold, and that life, whatever it is, might wear many forms. Some with eyes, some with none, some that breathe methane, some that shimmer in shadows. Montan, so as you lie still now, blanketed in night, let this truth wrap around your thoughts like a soft tide. We may not have answers, but we have the courage to ask. And maybe, just maybe, the answer isn't no. It's just not yet. Montan, let the golden record play on in your dreams, a lullaby from Earth to the stars. Let Voyager drift in your mind, sailing past silence, past darkness, past time. Let the icy moons cradle your questions, and the black oceans of Europa echo back. We hear you. And even if they don't reply, we'll keep listening, because to listen, to wonder, to reach out, even when no one answers, that's what makes us human. Montan, sleep now, and in your dreaming silence, may you float with Voyager, with Galileo, with Cassini, with every question ever launched into the stars. And may you always remember, you are not just a body in space. You are a question wrapped in skin, always reaching, even in the dark. Sleep now, and in your dreaming silence, may you float with Voyager, with Galileo, with Cassini, with every question ever launched into the stars. And may you always remember, you are not just a body in space. You are a question wrapped in skin, always reaching, even in the dark.
And if this journey made you feel a little less alone beneath the stars, gently tap subscribe, leave a soft little comment like a note on a windowsill, and like this video so others can drift here too. We'll keep whispering the cosmos into your dreams, one story at a time.
Bye.